Oh, good morning, everyone. Wah, 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 wah. Good morning. Oh, goodness. Gray Cloud, what in the hell are you doing? I don't know, man. I don't know. Dude, it's been like, let's see here. It's been a little bit, oh, weird lately. Oh, and I am just streaming straight through the YouTube app. I'm not using Restream right now. Oh, appreciate you guys, whoever turned, you know, I got up this morning. If I'd known last night that I wanted to maybe go live this morning, I should have scheduled it like last night. And then a few of you guys might have been already ready to pop in here. Having a little bit of coffee here. I've got a little mixture here of, that's an elderberry, blackberry tea bag, but it's also a mixture of some other herbal tea. Like I think there's a little chamomile in it and stuff. But then also there's lemon juice in that, a little bit of pomegranate apple cider vinegar juice, some Himalayan pink sea salt, and then a stick of like some peach tea powder to flavor it. Oh, so where are we at? Where are we at? Gray Cloud. Speak, big kahuna, for your servant hears. Your grace is my sufficiency in all things. And there is a sufficiency of your grace ever present in my consciousness. There is sufficiency of your grace, whatever prison I am in, physical, mental, moral, or financial. There's a sufficiency of your grace present within me now to meet the need of this very moment. And sufficient unto this moment is your grace. And I said, I just used my word, the word that the Creator and I know, or the two words, big kahuna. For anybody that don't know, if you ever hearing me say or refer to the big kahuna, then I am talking about a creator, a chief, the head in charge, the consciousness that moves through things, the manifestation of the universe and the living creatures within it and all of that kind of stuff, or whatever you want to call it. Uh, and to some people that tune into this channel and been watching a while, you may have a certain perception of me. You may think you know exactly what I think or believe. And you probably might have a close idea, but it's probably not on par with everything you're thinking. But I'm not here to debate all that. I've titled this The Dilemma of Existing. For me, there is a dilemma to the existence of life. Hey, there, Fal. I, I don't know if I'm saying it right or not, but Falguni or Falguni, Falconi. Anyway, you know who you are. I appreciate you tuning in there for a second. Oh, but yeah. So I titled that because darn, Gray Cloud, stop it. There's been some emotional, like there just for a second, I felt tears almost about to come, and there's no reason to necessarily have any tears in my eyes right now. And if they do come, it's probably out of joy. But then also there's like a solemnness that's going on. There's like this. I was explaining it to a friend yesterday that anyway. Oh, hello there. I was trying to word something. I'm trying to share. Well, I titled this "The Dilemma of Existing" because of just kind of how I've been feeling the past several days. And then yesterday I did a live stream and I was pretty, it was a good stream yesterday when I was walking on that gravel road. But I got a lot out. Um, did a video yesterday and kind of explained myself as well. Um, so what am I talking about? I'm talking about going through different transitions in life and through just periods where sometimes we're like I'm experiencing some stuff that I've experienced before, like spiritually, but I'm also experiencing some new things, new sensations, new revelations, new like I said, things that some of it seems very similar to me from my journey that I've taken and led up to here, but then some of what's going on here recently, it's hard for me to pinpoint how to explain it or describe what I feel or what is going on. And it's like, oh, there's certain signals and transmissions coming through that are new to me. And I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody. If that, like whatever it is that's always got, like, whatever has always guided me and sent me, like, for instance, when I'm writing, like I often say that if I'm writing something on a piece of paper, especially stream of consciousness writing, or like you could consider it poetry, I often have said over the years, it's really not me writing it. It's like I'm the conduit, I'm the utensil that's the utensil. It may be my hands and my body activated doing the work to present it on paper. But often when I read back what I've wrote, I don't even, it doesn't feel like something that I, as my ego, did. Hope I ain't going over anybody's head there. Hello there, though. I don't know if I'm saying your thing right, but thanks for being here. And like I said, that's my mixture of like a kind of like a rehydration drink this morning. Lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, water, of course, and then a little bit of a flavoring and some Himalayan sea salt and stuff like that. But that's neither here. So, what do I mean by the dilemma of existing? I don't know. I mean, I'm going to pin that. I'm using the app today, the YouTube app again. Like I almost used Restream, which is what I use when I think I may be, like if I think that someone might want to join me, and do like a live stream, or a few other people, I'll use Restream. A lot of people use StreamYard, but from what I understand, if you're paying for StreamYard, it's went up in a lot on prices. And if you're not paying for it, even it's even more limited now than it used to be for the free version. So I've just been using Restream for a few months and stuff. Anyway, that's not the whole topic of the thing. I'm trying to think of what you're saying there. For somebody to have come as far as you have, looks like self love and surrender were your biggest armors. Were they my biggest armors? They might have been my biggest detriment at one time, meaning the lack of self love and the lack of surrender. That, yeah. So, uh, anyway, let's try to keep this on track here. Not on crack, but on track. At least I can make a joke and come back smiling. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that's kind of how it has to be, I think. But I thought that this would be. Oh yeah, I understand that. Uh, I appreciate that insight. I do have self love today, uh, but that doesn't mean that sometimes I don't have self doubt. I think, and like yesterday, that's kind of what was going on a little bit. I just was looking at something I'd wrote just a few days ago on here. What was? Oh wait, I just read something I didn't even realize. It's almost like I wrote this a few days ago to myself, to just as a reminder. I don't know. But then there was something else. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. You might have been through it. Okay, I'm making sure I'm not missing anything that you're saying or anybody's saying. Uh, Living in a mindset that is stagnant. When will this change? Has there been any progress? Sit still and listen in silence. Days come and they go, slowly crumbling away as a new phase seems to begin. Wading in the shallow end of life. Wading in the shallow end of life. That's where most people are. Most people are in the shallow end. They don't want to go into the deep waters. Um, it's been a while since I plunged headfirst into the deeper end. Meaning it's, yeah, like up until just a while back, I think it had been a while since I'd really dove deeper into those areas that I used to always have on my brain, like anyway, walking by grace to find myself again. So I'm referring to, if we were to go back about a little over 6 weeks ago, I'd say about 7 weeks ago, and I was dealing with pain, dealing with certain things going on physically that led me to kind of like end up in a spot for 4 or 5 days where, and I was referring to it as my dark night of the soul, which I've had several in my life. And, you know, during that period, I came to the understanding that I'd had several dark nights of the soul. There's been different transitions throughout my whatever life I have here. So for me, the dilemma of existing is getting past that idea of I'm just existing, I'm just breathing, and into the point of I'm actively living. I'm not just existing. I'm not just breathing. Like I'm, you know, like right now, doing a live stream. Hey Emil, it's good to see you. Uh-oh. Did that? Oh my goodness. Well, I had something in that and I guess it fell out. That's okay though. I really don't need it this morning. I don't know. Never need it. But I'm gonna pull a little pinch of what is left. Oh yeah, so if I was to share about earlier in life, yes, you're right. Yes, life is gray in a way. I think you saying that kind of kind of gives me a new insight to why I was taught I was gray cloud. A lot of people back in the day when I was first trying to get people to understand that I'd been shown something and told something that, you know, whether anybody believed me or not, that I'm not the legal name that's on paper. The man name is Jason. Um, Nobody calls me that except for my sister and a few people at the church. And the people at the church didn't never know me as that. They just happened to, somebody just happened to have to fill some paperwork out for me when I broke my arm and I'm left handed. So then they realized what my legal name was, and then they decide that they want. Like for some reason, I think some people think a God-given name is the name your parents gave you. That's a parent name. That's the name that the parents chose to give you. To me, a God-given name is if you have an experience with the Creator, and it says, "Hey, you're not really the identity that you thought you were. I'll show you who you are." Boom, like slap you in the face. You know, like here, you want to ask all these questions? I'll give you a few answers. Now, I can't give you answers for everybody else, but I can give you answers for your damn self. And that's the truth. Like even before my mom passed away and stuff, let's not get into all that. I don't want to talk about that. But let me see here. I might be missing some of y'all's. Do I think our existence is destiny? Um, okay, let's get into it. So I'm Gray Cloud. I'm a cloud. And like when that name was shown to me to be like the name to go by, it resonated. It was like because I have always kind of stayed in the gray area. Some people might have considered me a fence sitter at one time because you know, like I always kind of was in the middle. I didn't really give a crap either way whether. So like I'm trying to think how to answer this destiny. Like is something preordained and already set in stone? I don't necessarily think so. I think that for one, for one, I come from a okay. how do I word this? It's not just me believing this. I mean, yes, I believe it, but I know it in my heart. How can I prove it? I can't. But I know for my journey, I found that I started remembering being before here, before Earth. And I had a choice in whether I wanted to be here or not. And I chose to be here. I said, yeah, sure. Let me go. Let me go on this ride. Let me see. Now, has it been easy? Has it been something always that earlier in life, I thought, why me? Why that? I used to be like, if you're really there, then why you want me to do something when you ain't going to show me? It's like I had the audacity to think that something was supposed to come down out of the sky and show me that it was real before I would do anything. And it's not in the sky, it's everywhere. It's inside here, it's inside here. It's everywhere and nowhere at the same time, right? That's such a cheerful laugh, man. Thank you for pointing that out. So, like, what I'm trying to get at is, from what my understanding is, and I'm not saying this is the way it is for everybody, but I do think it is. We just don't always remember. Not everybody has the ability. Like, not everybody comes to the earth and wakes up to where they actually realize, hey, I was before I got here, and like I had a little bit of choice in whether I wanted to be here, and then also you kind of lay out a little bit of a life path of how you want to like navigate yourself down here on earth. And once you get here, though, once through growing and consciousness becomes more evolved in your body and your mind as you're getting older and people are programming you, because that's what happens, then you start programming yourself, which, like if you read the fifth agreement, the five agreements, Toltec wisdom talks a lot about the programming, but like there's plenty of other like spiritual text and other type of texts that talk about programming. So, but we get to a point where we program ourselves too. But I do think what determines whether the outcome ends up being where I thought it would be before I was born. Like, let's say I laid out a guideline and it was like, okay, this, if everything goes right, this is where this is where you'll lead. This is where you'll do. Are we cool to add to the conversation? I mean, why wouldn't you be? I'm. I'm no. This is not all about me. I mean, it's the chance. Like, I have no idea how long I'll stay on here or anything either. So, I literally haven't took a walk this morning. I haven't even really done any reading. So everybody's welcome to be sharing their thoughts in the chat on what they think. This is coffee, and you weren't here earlier. This is it's an old jar, but it's not what was once in that jar. It's a mixture of apple cider vinegar. It's a pomegranate apple cider vinegar organically mixed up that I found here recently. It's a little bit of that in there, some lemon juice in there, Himalayan pink sea salt or whatever, and like the tea bag that's floating around in there, that's elderberry and blackberry mixed with a little bit of chamomile tea bag, and then like I said, I put a little packet in there to flavor it. So yeah, you're about to say, well, you're actually saying what I just haven't got to yet, which is cool. Yeah, And I totally agree, Falcon. If you'll, well, it's interesting because it's like you pretty much just you said basically where I was leading. I just haven't got there yet. That once I got here, through my choices in my life's path, will determine whether I end up at the end where we thought it would end. If you know what I mean, like, so you start off with your path kind of laid out before you, because before I came here, I was like, yeah, sure, let's do this, let's do that, da 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 da. But then you get here, and of course, once I had to awaken, and then I had to make choices. But I should work at a cafe. I would love to work somewhere like that. You know, like I always liked hanging out at cafes and stuff. The Truth Tree. I like that name, the Truth Tree. Yeah, but yes, destiny. So, you know, you have a life path that you lay out before you even get here. But, you know, if we do accept the idea of free will, because there's a lot of question nowadays about is there really free will? And I think there is. It's just, I don't think it's as, I think it's a little more limited than some people know. Um, First, I think real free will comes when I don't know, dude. Like, but I know that through my personal life choices, because of some of the choices I had was allowed to make, then of course I have not ended up where I could have been already. But it also brings me back to this, that a while back I was being shown, where I thought 20 something years ago when I got certain revelations and visions of my future, where I thought I would be sitting at this moment is nowhere close to where the young mind thought. Am I still progressively going in that direction? I think I am. But what came to me when we're talking about that last dark night of the soul that I went through, dark night of the soul, and come up out of, and I'm on a sober kick, I'm like a little over 6 weeks without any alcohol. Now, do I smoke marijuana? Yeah, but that's my business. Anyway, what am I saying? Uh, but yeah, so what are we going to say? I kind of lost my train of thought there for a second. Sorry about that. Um, so what I was saying is that when we go back about 6.5, 7 weeks ago, when I was going through that little period, when I came up out of that, I think it was within that first week or two, and Emil will probably be able to refer. He remembers this. I was speaking a lot of, like, all of a sudden, I was doing like a live stream, I believe, or was it a video? And in the middle of doing it, it occurred. I think it was a live stream, and it was like, whoa, maybe the destination that I thought I was supposed to be at is the exact destination I'm at. Like, this right here is what it's supposed to be. Like, the entirety of my life led me to this moment in time right here to do this live stream for whatever reason. But like, my success is in the moment. It's not somewhere in the future. It's not in the past. The only real success is for me right now, like right this minute, realizing as I'm talking, this is the only thing I have. I don't have this shirt, these two shirts on my back. I don't have the pants on I don't have the socks on my feet. I don't have any of it. Like, the truth is, I don't own anything. Do I even own my own consciousness? Do I own my soul? I don't know. But anyway, I don't mean to go off on a tangent there. If we're able to create miracles despite having a shitty life, free will, I guess, I feel every time I have surprised myself, it has made my belief about free will stronger. No, I do. I agree with you. I think, I do think, I think there is free will. It's just, I do think it's a little bit more limited than, I don't know. Really, I don't think too hard about it. But but I do know that here in the recent time, I've seen from time to time, I see people debating on is there really free will or not and stuff. And to me, some of that stuff can drive you crazy if we go too far into it. Like for me, like I was telling somebody yesterday, it's like people that want to debate on are we on a globe or are we on a flat surface? You know what? I don't give a shit. I don't care because is that relevant to me right now where I'm at and what I'm going to do in my life? Nope. So whether I can prove it or not doesn't matter to me. And some people like would get disgruntled about that. It's just like I feel that we debate and try to convince each other of things sometimes that are irrelevant, and we waste energy. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just one example. Like I don't like I've come to the understanding that the the significance of my life falls in this moment, in this now, this day that I'm given right now. And so, does it matter? Like, even if I knew for certain whether I'm floating around the sun or I'm underneath a dome, it's still not going to change a whole lot. It doesn't. Thank you, Charlie Sy, for pointing out something that's so obvious, right? That's really nice. What? No, I get you. You don't like old people? Is that what it is? I never would have imagined if you had asked me 25 years ago what I'd be doing at 51 years, Earth years old, I wouldn't have been able to tell you. Probably had some grandiose idea. Well, no, I 20 something years ago, I thought I knew for certain where I was going to be, but I'm right where I'm supposed to be, right here, right now. Excuse me, guys. Oh goodness, that one hit pretty good there. Golly. So, man, this is a good conversation. I appreciate people bringing in some good ideas and good things. Now we're getting a little bit. Hey, Tree, it's good to see you, Tree. I don't know who some of you guys are. I'm assuming you're coming over here from. It might be through our friend Falcone or Falcone. I don't know. I don't know if she shared this or something. Somebody shared it because, or somebody's. It's popped up in your feed somehow. Are you are you an individualist or do you form free will based on societal norms or expectations? Well, my free will started before I got here. So like the fact that I said like I didn't have to come here. I didn't have to be born. That's what I'm not saying that's the way it is for y'all, but I'm just talking about what I know for myself, and I'm not going to sit here and debate it. So anyway, my first decision was, yeah, sure, okay, I'll go. Let me go. Okay, on December 30th, 1973, that's your destination date. That was my arrival. That's when I crossed through the portal or whatever, you know? December 30th, 1973. And then my physical human being mother had to come here in 43, January 4th. She came in January 4th. Now, of course, really the passing through the portal starts kind of at conception, but I'm talking about the official when you come out and your lungs physically are. Yep, you got it right there. Thank God for weed. Yeah, some people might disagree, but I'm not here to. I'm not trying to get in a bunch of. Some people will spend all day long trying to prove why they're right and you're wrong, and it's not always that simple. And like I know that I don't know shit about shit. I know a little bit about a little bit of something, but that's about it. But when it comes to some things, I know what I know for myself, and that's about it. I already said that. But I mean, I know what I know for myself based on my experience, and no matter how hard I try, there's no way I'm going to prove some of the things to anybody. The Truth Tree. I like that name. You want me to call someone? What does it say? We're talking about dilemma or existing and stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. How would you answer that? Am I an individualist? I don't know. Oh, you know something though? You bringing up individualism and stuff. It's interesting because I need to get back to this book, but the Undiscovered Self, really good stuff about the individual compared to society, and it talks a lot about with organized religion as well as government itself, uh, trying to make everybody kind of fall in a one line. Just everybody has to think the same way and all that, as opposed to the importance of each individual and your own individual like growth and I don't know. I haven't picked it up and read in a few days on that. And then of course I'm also in the middle of that. I have a lot of different things. Like I've always read multiple different things at different times, and sometimes it is a detriment because it'll take me forever to get through certain things just because I won't read but just a few pages out of something every day, especially if it's deep philosophical stuff. Sorry if I'm missing anybody's. Have I read the Bible? The bibliosis? Are you talking about the bibliosis? Uh, Not just that. I've read many things. And I've read bits and pieces of many things. But like last year, I read it completely again from the beginning to the end. I can say that I came full circle from being way out there, more distanced from my original upbringing, to a few years ago finding myself being more intrigued to study scripture again and to actually be drawn to go to a building called church. And uh, I still go some and everything quite often, but like not every time, but at least Sunday mornings. And that's not even like, I don't, I go when I need to, like there's sometimes it just helps me. But is that my strict guideline to how somebody is supposed to get to some understanding of something that's bigger than all of us? No. Like I think when it comes to some of the things we're talking about right here, and guys, forgive me if I'm not keeping up with everything you're saying here because this is some good stuff. I didn't know I was gonna get it. Such a good. Not gonna lie, my YouTube streams are starting to heal. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? Like, are trying to help? Are you? So you're. Hold on. Are you meaning like the streams you're finding? Hey, Dennis, what's up? We're in some deep conversation today. Ain't been talking about no comic books today, or any comic books. I just used the double negative. It's weird the few little things that I remember from the English classes I had, you know? I don't know a whole lot of like, I don't remember a lot of the grammatical stuff and the English necessary, but I always remember the double negative. Anyway. Oh, your YouTube's recommendations. Cool. It's great to see you here, Dennis. Like I hadn't talked to you in a while. Well, I mean, if you tuned in, then and if you saw, then you see kind of like what I labeled the. We're having a discussion about life, like and like the question has been about free will, destiny. What else have we talked about? Uh, Anybody that don't know Dennis Rodriguez, I've been knowing him for a little while now. Like I I don't remember when we first like really started following each other on X or whatever, and then we were like I would I've we have the love of comic books in common, and so and we both follow a movement called Comics Gate and all that. But that's not the only thing that we have in common. It seems that over the period of time that he's been sometimes in the chat or even he's been on my channel a couple of times with me and some other people, and we've talked about anything about from comic books to, you know, really deep shit too. Hey, hot. Okay, hey, thanks for stopping by. And are you over? Yeah, if you're going to sleep, are you? Anyway, I don't want to assume I know where you're at, but I'm assuming you're probably in some. Are you from? Uh, it doesn't matter. You have to go to sleep. You have a good one. Yeah, I can't tell. Like Dennis, so give me a second. I'm trying to collect my thoughts. Yeah, like you're right, Truth. I believe you're right. And then we're gonna. Uh, well, I mean, I don't know. I do see a lot of like I follow a lot of people that are pretty much speaking from their heart and stuff. But I think you're right as far as the mass majority of things, especially if we're let's just take YouTube strictly, and that's the only thing we're talking about. Most the large portion, the biggest portion of anybody on YouTube, most of them are chasing the algorithm. Definitely, they're trying to find a category that they can, monetize quickly and be, you know what I mean? Like, me and a friend were talking about this yesterday, and somebody else I was talking to about this. I do sometimes take notice to some of the tips that I see about, like, how can I maybe reach more people and things like that. But like, I've had a hard time the past over the years of since I took this serious. It like I can't just pinpoint any one specific. Like I think like for my channel, it's just worked out. Just me being just like, just being me, like not, like I do want to learn how to make some videos at some point that are more intensely spent more time on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not every video be that way, but I want to get to where, like, maybe I have a subject, I do some research, and because, like, I have a laptop now, I just haven't been able, like, it's only, like, in the past few days or this week. And I don't, like, I'm waiting for Thursday, and then I'll be able to get, I'm going to upgrade my plan with my phone, have an unlimited hotspot, and all that, and learn that. So eventually I want to be able to, at times, make like a longer video than what I normally do or whatever, even if it's not any longer than 15 or 20 minutes, but something that I have took a little more time in. But several people that I talk to regularly also, like some people are like, well, you don't really need to know that. I'm just wanting to do that for myself. But as far as the main gist of my content and what I'm going to be doing, it'll just stay the same. Once I learn this laptop and how to maneuver it, and I have, like, in a few days, hopefully, when I get it hooked up, and it'd probably be by next week, I should have the unlimited hotspot, so where I can, like, get online and not be worried about the data part of it, and then be able to explore it. Let's not get into all that, though. I don't know why I even went there. I just what I was getting at is a lot of people stick to the surface, like if you're getting, if I was really trying to make this where I was making money and all that, because I'm, like I see people, like if I streamed more and all this other stuff, but I think there was a whole conversation last night on the stream that Godfo Universe did, and Self Destruct was on there. Dennis knows who I'm talking about. What's up, Tank? I'm gonna let's hold on a second. Let's see. Oh man, I still am slow on getting around to doing more with my. Well, I have been doing a little more with the second channel. I hope today to sit down and do my video on Bronze Star. I got to rewrite the notes that I took, and I know I keep and I know that's an older book from last year or whenever it was, whatever the fuck, whenever it finally fulfilled. But I have a copy, and I bought it after. But I want to, because I know that because now that I've owned it, I'm definitely gonna like get in on the second one, like ahead of time. Like I'm not gonna probably wait for it. Like I'll go ahead and put in on it like this coming up time. I just got to be more frugal. Like, if some people might be wondering what I'm even talking about, but I know you and Dennis know. Oh, so on Godfo last night. Dang, it was about about irony. Uh, what is? It was like you had Self Destruct on there, and then Brody Addison. Brody is a writer that wrote something for the Godfo universe. Like wrote the was it the Lamentations or the Invocations? Anyway, so they were talking about just irony in writing, but then it ended up going into a conversation about irony in like the real world, like Brody was talking about that just a few days ago over in, I guess, Charlotte, North Carolina is where they were. They did like a demonstration, but they used irony to present an idea to get people to listen to something that they were actually serious about, and it was something about AI, like the dangers of AI, like is what I the gist of what I got. So hold on a minute, I'm like Dennis Rodriguez. So that's what the talk. That's where the talk was last. So because Godfeld, like those guys get deep. At least when I do tune in, that's why I like them. It made me because I realized that I pronounced the name of that book, that one book, wrong when I did a video on my second channel where I do like a reading. Like I read this, tell you the description of the story, and I was calling it Apollon, and it's Apollyon, like Apollyon, like Lynn. Anyway, I got to remember how to pronounce it and I'm going to reread the books because they will be launching their new books soon, like Kolga, and then at some point I think between now and next year the third. Is it the third one for the Apollyon? Anyway, what does it say? What is deep conversations? The cool motherfuckers stopping into chat. Tank, are you saying you're not cool, or that you just ain't deep? You don't give a shit. You want it all surface level, don't you, Tank? You want it it's all like how's the weather today, Tank? You like that kind of conversation? Is that what you're saying? Oh, by the way, out here in hey, shit, hell yeah, dude. Truth Tree. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to see if you have. It's like I was looking to see if your thing on YouTube is guys. So that's really cool. Emil, do you see that? Emil, you said you watch a lot of like people from Japan, like streamers and stuff. I'm about as deep as a kiddie pool on a good day. Okay, I'm going to take it, Truth Tree, that you are not Japanese, but you're in Japan. It's the way that I'm reading this. Yeah, obviously that's the way I'm reading it. By the way, out here in Tokyo, just because the way that you say, but very beautiful women, so you know, that's cool though. And Tank is about as deep. And I don't have to keep pinning everybody's thing, but I'm using the YouTube app. I could have used Restream, and then if somebody had wanted to come on with me, we could have had. But I didn't have a clue that I was going to even be here this fucking long. Um, and Tank, if you tuned in, then you probably read the title. So yeah, we were in some. You know what you're saying there, Tank? One of the guys that I first ever played music with, in a legitimate band. Okay, Truth Tree, you're okay. Originally from Texas. Okay, yeah. Self Destruct is in Texas. The guy that I was talking about that was on the stream last night, the Godfell Universe. Just trying to let you know what we were talking about. Like you were here, so you heard. Like obviously, Godfell Universe. It's a universe, and it's a independent crowdfunding type of a comic book universe, but the guys are really cool. Self Destruct ain't part of that. He's just a dude we know that follows comics, but also gets into deep conversations too. So, and Tank, by the way, is an artist. You can see that he just said that in his thing about that he does art. Hey, I like that. Let's pin that. Right. Because I was saying to Tank, if you obviously if you read the title, The Dilemma of Existence. I was talking about this yesterday in the live stream that I did while I was walking down the gravel road yesterday. I was talking about that in the past, when I was in high school, I used to think that myself did not matter really much in the grand scheme of things, and it really don't. Like I'm a speck of dust. But I'm talking about I used to think of let's take pollution for example, not how everybody is now, but I lived when Exxon Valdez happened. Like I was in high school, and I remember thinking, well, why the hell do I give a shit about recycling? Why do I give a shit about this or that? My little one thing don't matter in the entirety of things when all these corporates can pump the air full of crap and these ships can just spill oil out, kill all kinds of stuff. Well, at some point in life, I realized, you know how that is the attitude that gets us to where we're at today. So, I still don't, in other words, I try to do my best now. Talking about the younger me thinking, I'm not making any difference. Well, you know where you start making a difference is in your own life. So it's like, and then as if I'm doing better and trying to better myself, and each person that does that, we can maybe somehow, But if we're all a self defeatist, and we think, well, nothing I'm doing matters. It's not gonna, on a global scale. You know, like having that attitude is exactly what got us where we're at. Sorry, I'm Tank Ferret. The truth teacher, I'm just a teacher. The truth tree, that's what's up. I watched Chefing Up with Mark. He's from. Oh, yeah, Emil, I remember you talking about Chefing Up with Mark. Georgia, the state of Georgia, we can literally drive about 10 minutes away. Oh, there's that piece that was in there earlier I didn't know came out in my lap. Now we're about to cook. Put that little resin on there. Right, the problems of the world are not in our hands, but my current situation is, or it can, not to a certain extent, I do have some sort of, I do have a little bit of certain things that are within my grasp to control in my life. And if I take care of those things, and I'm slowly doing that, I hope to hear some good news this week from my sister about getting my birth certificate. And if that can come through, then I can step forward and eventually have my ID again that I haven't had in years. And then that's going to allow me to do a couple of things that I'm not going to talk about here, but just things that will make my living situation easier and just a lot of things. But it's not all about that. I didn't mean to go on a tangent. Right. And if I'm better in my world, in my daily existence, it collectively will start adding up. Like we say. So if you're doing good, if you're doing better in your personal life, each person that's doing it, no matter where you're at in the world, doesn't that seem to me, logic would say the more people doing that, then slowly but surely we'll see a change in the overall thing. But ultimately, if I'm not focusing on what it is I can do every day around me and immediately within my grasp, whether that means physically or even online, like right now, I didn't know, well, I did know, think about it. I intentionally titled this the way I did because I wanted to see if anybody was interested in talking about this. The dilemma of existing. What does someone mean by that? And when you say purpose, it's then you have to say, then where you're at in life. Do you believe there's a purpose or do you not? I believe there is purpose, but for some people, they're still in that whole place where they don't think that anything's purposeful, you know? And I see that, and I see that a lot in society. Man, you guys are cheering me up. not that I was in a bad mood or anything. It's just, like I said, I have kind of a routine. I haven't took a walk today, but I was in a slow moving pace this morning. And so, real quick though, let's see here. I had something sitting here that I'm going to share real quick. This is from the Living a Life of Awareness. What's Tank say? Yeah, because there's the question of just because you're thinking, does that really mean you're there? Like because truthfully, we can't actually even prove our own existence. Anyway, let's see. You can't. I mean, it's like I think I'm here, but I don't know. Like I can't really like. Uh, Listening to the silence. This is Toltec wisdom right here. Let me put my glasses on. I don't really need them, but I'm gonna make sure I can. When the mind is not quiet, when our attention feels like it is being pulled in 1,000 different ways, stress and disharmony take over. At this point, we are trapped in the fog of miyatote. I think I'm saying it right. Miyatote means the 1,000 voices that occupy the mind. This fog obscures the reflection of love and makes us think that love is something that needs to be gained, like the elusive carrot on a stick. There is no purpose. You're just here. Make it count, baby. That see, like that's fine. Like everybody's different. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, Tank. Sorry. Let's pin. I want to pin somebody else's take on what they say. Like, uh, so because some people haven't, like I'm not here to tell you what your purpose is or if you have one. I figure each person that they kind of come to their own terms on what they're gonna, you know. Okay, with awareness, we realize there is a deep silence that exists beyond all of those voices in our head. One way to quiet the mind is to listen to that silence. If we look at our reflection and into our eyes, we will see what lies beyond them. We'll see the truth. The quieting of your mind helps you to experience the moment without distraction and keeps you in your power. That is what I've been trying to do lately, too. It's just, I've been throughout my day. Now, right now, it's not, but like throughout my day, I've been being conscious of periods of time when I'm not actually having real thoughts. And it's like a good, just like when I take notice of it, it brings me into that moment and like it seems to be extended more, like just being in, like present and not doing too much thinking, which right now I am, but I'm enjoying having a good conversation with you guys. YouTube unsubscribed to me. Huh? Today, practice quieting the mind. Take a few moments to just sit and relax. Remove yourself from all the distractions of the day. Just reflect. Allow yourself to hear the signs deep within. Well, I think that's truly, like, whether you think there's purpose or not, I think contentment is found in the moment, dude. I agree with you, Troll. I like, because there ain't nothing promised to us. It's like if you're breathing and you have another day, whether you've, like come to, like, not everybody is going to, like, for me, it's important to remember that. Like, just because I'm talking on a certain level and a certain, like, and I might be talking spiritual some, doesn't mean you have to fucking see it the way I see it. Like, each person has experienced whatever the hell they've experienced and they've come to their own terms. And I think everybody should have that right. And we do have that right. But then you get a lot of people all the time wanting to tell us different, you know. Now, like for me, you know, it's like I'm not going around trying to convince anybody of anything. I'm just sharing me. And I'm trying to remember where. Oh, I didn't have a bookmark. Sorry. Oh, God. So essentially, not overthinking, but just live through moments, finding meaning in the small experiences that make life feel alive rather than waiting for some grand cosmic answer. Yeah. Exactly. And that's even what I was shown in the past, like I said, a little over 6 weeks has passed, and I've had some insights that are like, this is the only moment I have, and hence I saw, like I sign off my time, like the end of the. I'm not, I don't just say gray cloud. Gray cloud sage of the eternal moment. Like, am I always in the moment? No, not the mind, but like I'm practicing every day, trying to. As soon as I'm aware that I'm getting myself too far out of today, out of this fucking moment I'm in, and I'm practicing pulling myself back just to take notice of the moment, because there is a lot of chatter in the mind. It's like there's always an internal dialogue, and when I can tune that out, man, the better, you know. So I know, man. Some people forget that, it's like perspective, dude. Like some people, thanks for being able to share what you're sharing and doing it in like a cool way. Like, if you know, like troll, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that to troll. Thanks for sharing your thoughts as well, because you keep bringing it back to find happiness. Like, in other words, and that's, like that is the big question. Like in The Way of the Wizard, he talks about, like Deepak Chopra talks about, like that's one of the questions that he asks or something. Like I don't really like buy into him too much now or anything, but that's one of my favorite books of all time. Just what it teaches in it, but what I learned from it. But there's like the question of, like, he was talking about patience he's had or something, and every, like, because he's like, I guess a psychiatrist or something. When seeing somebody for the first time, he's always asking them, well, what is it you're seeking in life, or what is it you're trying to, and they'll give all these different answers, and he gets them to the point where ultimately it ends up being almost everybody says the same thing. I'm just looking for happiness. I just want to be content. I just, you know, like regardless of like, and I think at the core of existence, that's probably the truth, right? Like whether you're an atheist or whether you believe in something bigger than you or whether you know what I'm saying? Like, still, I think at the end of the day, no matter who you are, you're probably just trying to find some damn contentment in this like mundane world, like, at least for me, that's the way I have always approached life. I see a lot of what, like, the societal norms were always such a, like, it's just mundane. It's like, if this is all there is, I didn't want to do it. And I didn't. That's why you talk, I was many years on the streets and off and on and did plenty of things. And I'm subject to do whatever the hell again. I don't ever say that, like, this is it. I'm done. I do my best to do what I think is right for myself, but I can't. Anyway, I didn't mean to go on a tangent. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, sorry about the guys. Y'all have to reel me back in every once in a while. But I'm trying to keep up with everything. Pig Latin. I know what Pig Latin is. I never really got into speaking it or trying to learn it, but I remember a bunch of people in certain periods of grade school and maybe even junior high. Certain people learned it or how to, I'd hear different people thinking it was cool, like. Oh wait, I did see a Cheers there. Oh, cool, Tank. I didn't see that. I'm glad to see that. That's awesome. You're studying Latin, dude. And cheers to y'all. Even though I'm not drinking. Well, cheers can mean anything, right? Right. I say salute to life. For me personally, I give thanks, and I'm giving thanks to something, but that's me. That's a man born into this world, a spirit, whether you want to think it or not, but like given a certain name at birth, Jason, only to later in life to be shown a different, like that name on paper wasn't him. Like I know that sounds crazy, but like that's not who I was. That wasn't like that was before Gray Cloud, and so I have my reasons. Anyway, I don't want to get all into that. It's not about that today. It ain't all about Gray Cloud. It's about trying to share these collective thoughts and us come to some understanding that, hey, I'm glad you're here and I'm glad we're having a good time. I need to look at the time real quick. Okay. I didn't know it was. Okay. Looking at some notifications real quick. Got a reminder about, I do have a doctor's appointment in the morning. Just a checkup and everything, but I'm going to have to get them. I do want to address a few things. It's weird. Last night my shoulder wasn't hurting. I did sleep hard, but I was really tired this morning. What is this? What are you saying about your comfort? If you go overseas, it gets more noticeable. I was blind to it before moving out of my comfort zone. It was popular when I was a kid. Oh, Pig Latin. Okay. Is that what you're talking about? I'm having to remember what we were talking. Oh, and Tank. I realized that why it wasn't working that day that we tried to go on my second channel. Uh, it had to do with I was creating it a few minutes ahead of time so I could share it and try to get a few people on it, or like knowing that we were about to do it. But in where, because I'm using Restream when I do this, like I'm not using Restream right now, but if I was using it and we were doing something, you know what I'm talking about, Tank. Tank was, anyway, I realized after we streamed over on Destruct's channel that what I had not done is there's a button that says create the event. See, I was going in and scheduling it, had it set up, I had a description, had a title, whatever, but I wasn't hitting the create event. So because I didn't do that, when I went in to see if it was there, it wasn't there. And I tried that twice like a dumbass and didn't hit create events. So, and I'm only mentioning that, Tank, because if one, like I've thought about, it would be nice to uh, arrange at some point, even like just one day to arrange to just go ahead and do something over there, and we'll and make that like that would be where like we'll discuss comics or whatever the hell we want to. Like I'm not gonna discuss it here, but this conversation is already different, and I'm trying to build the second channel more for that kind of stuff. Yeah, like I know that everybody uses StreamYard, but like I'm understanding a bunch of creators are about to like if they're paying for it, they're like saying that they're not going to renew their StreamYard and they're going to go to like Streamlabs or Restream or something different. Uh, but Restream, I just started using it because like some changes were made. Like I'm just using the free version, but I have more options with their free version than like it's got an unlimited amount you can stream on it in a month for free. Now there's still limitations, but like I'm usually streaming from my phone. Now I do have a laptop, like I said, and I used it the other day to talk to self destruct. Self destruct and I just hung out. We didn't go live. We just hung out in my studio through Restream on my laptop, so I could kind of just see, like, just get to use the laptop that I'm trying that I've got to learn a little more about and all of that. Oh, okay. The temperature is going. Oh yeah, like I got you. Um, yeah, it feels good here today, dude. Like I'm in Alabama, uh, it's nice and cool here. Everybody's kind of talking about. I think even my friend in Oklahoma, Teresa. I believe Emil, you said that it's cool up where you're at too. Anyway, not trying to divulge anybody's information, but several people I know, and everywhere that I've talked to in different places, uh, as far as here in a certain area of the United States, it's the temperatures are kind of getting better. Like I think it's gonna be the highest is 77 or 78 today here. Like I've got a flannel on. I just wished I had gotten somewhere. And see, there you go. Gray Cloud's going to reel itself back in right there. Right before I'm not even going to finish the sentence I thought I was going to say. There ain't no wishing nothing because the more the mind thinks that way, you're off point. That takes me out. Like I can wish I may, wish I might. Wishing one hand, shit in the other. That's what Grandma said, and that's the truth. Um, I do look forward to things. I do have goals. I do have things. There's nothing wrong with having that and having kind of a guideline where I'm trying to shoot for. But the truth is that the only thing I have control over is this moment, this day, and like immediate decisions. And I'm trying to be more responsible here lately again, like I said, uh, my died midwinter, so no AC in the office, and my computer might as well be a space heater. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you on that. I understand. Where's the I'm trying to think where else to go with this and how much my mind is all of a sudden wondering. It's like I have a lot of free time during the day. I'm trying to organize it where I stay fairly, even if I'm online. Like anytime I'm online during the day, I like it to be like I like it to be doing something other than just like it's either me posting something and or I'm promoting it or I'm doing a video and maybe uploading it, but or like this. I try to limit myself to the evenings when maybe I start like getting in a chat on a live stream or whatever, pulling up an old TV show or something on Tubi. It's like the more I do think like that's like with the walks and stuff. I'm not like this morning I haven't, but I'm trying to remember there are certain things too. I'm just trying to keep myself. as active as possible. And sometimes it's like, not complaining. I'm very grateful to be here and alive. And Tank, didn't you work for? Didn't you do one? Aren't you the one doing? Are you the one doing the? Did you do the art for the Devil Driver or Devil Flyer? Or was you doing a cover one day or something? I was thinking that's what you were drawing on when it was that stream that. Remember, I told you back when we were talking a few weeks ago, and we did that with Self Destruct about. Because I remember you referring me to Alterna Comics and that. We got to talking about stuff, and it was interesting. And then so from there, like, anyway, I don't want to like get all too off the subject. I just was curious if I'm correct in my thinking. Okay, you did some art for him, but you're not necessarily like. Because I was trying to remember. Because I haven't backed it yet, and I'm just like I really like Rex, and I like that. Like I didn't realize until just a while back. I went back and was looking at it, and it interests me what he's got up, and I want to. I think I'm gonna because like I have to be real frugal with what I do. Like, but I was thinking about after I've done what I got to do, seeing if I can manage to do that this week. But what intrigues me about it is it's an anthology. There's a collect, or like from what I can tell, there's several. And I even saw him talking about this yesterday. There's a bunch of different characters going to be introduced too. Okay. Anyway, I just was curious. A lot of like that's not something like but you were working on, I think, something for that day. Like you were, like the day that I remember, and that's been a little while back. But I remember being in the chat, and then you were like, we kind of. That's the first time we really interacted, and it was cool. Especially like you turned me, like you let me know about certain things, like I said, like Alterna Comic. You even mentioned several other things that I ended up looking up. I can't remember, but okay. Oh, I think it's probably a good stopping point, man. Like we've had a pretty good conversation going the entire time, and I don't know who all stuck around, but it was in the beginning we had somebody that is new, like fairly new to us, but Falcone, or I don't know if I'm saying her name right. She's a very deep thought person. I really like some of what she does. Talks about a lot of. If you were to look at the earlier conversation when this first started, she was giving us some really good insights on some of the topic of the dilemma of existence and all that kind of stuff, destiny, any of that kind of thing that we talked about here. But I do think I probably should get my ass, just for my own physical self. It's a nice day. I haven't walked yet. That's what I'm going to gear up, and then I'm going to do some stuff around here. Might do a live later. Who knows? Hey, thanks, Tank. Hey, Tank. I'm gonna. Do you care? Can I make you a moderator? I just did. If I don't, just for any time that. Yeah, carpe diem. Someone told me that it's really like seize the day, for it is on fire. And that's the way I'm trying to approach it. Ever since I got that tattoo, there was a period in life where I would look at the tattoo and be like, you're not fucking seizing the day. Even as recently as a few months ago. And it's like I'm relearning how to seize that. That's kind of what Troll was saying, you know? And I agree. Like, so whether there's purpose or not, it's still like make your purpose finding contentment, being content. As long as you ain't hurting nobody, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man. And the way we say we love each other here is I say ditto, just for in case anybody don't know. And that's how we're going to sign off. Until next time, Mr. Gray Cloud here. Sage of the Eternal Moment, over and out. Ditto.